Welcome back. I'm Zephyr Chung with Iris Diecast, and today I'll be comparing the Bugatti EB110 made by Maisto and Bburago. As of today, Maisto and Bburago are affiliates. They are both part of the Meichun Group, and their model cars are manufactured in China. But things weren't always like that. Bburago was in business for a longer time, and they were actually the ones to really light up the 118 scale model car market. However, due to their high production costs, since their older models were manufactured in Italy, and strong competitors in both the budget and higher-end model car market, Bburago went bankrupt and was purchased by the Meichun Group in 2006, which is pretty funny since Maisto was one of the competitors that brought down Bburago, and now they're part of the same group. Kind of like Kia and Hyundai in Korea used to be competing companies, but now they're part of the same group, and their cars usually share platforms and many of the powertrain parts. Nowadays, there is hardly any quality difference between Maisto and Bburago models. Working suspension maybe. Some Bburago models have been marketed under Maisto boxes in large retail stores like Costco and Sam's Club, but I'm talking about models that were built before they merged. There are quite a few cars that both of the companies made: the Viper SRT10, Porsche 993, Lamborghini Diablo, Ferrari 550, Ferrari F50, and so on. And I happen to own the Bugatti EB110 by both Maisto and Bburago, so I thought I may as well compare the two to see which one is better. Before we get started, let's start with some background information. Bburago made two variants of the EB110. The earlier model had the spoiler down and was in a lighter shade of blue, just like the Maisto model. And the later version, which is this one, is in a darker blue and has the spoiler fixed up. Maisto made the original EB110 and also made the rare Dower EB110. So the Bugatti EB110 is not like Ettore Bugatti's original Bugatti and the modern-day Volkswagen Group Bugatti. So in 1989, during the massive supercar boom, an Italian entrepreneur bought the rights for Bugatti and created Automobili Bugatti SPA. And the EB110 was named celebrating the 110th birthday of Ettore Bugatti. A lot of Lamborghini engineers and Gandini himself participated in the development of the EB110, and it was also manufactured in Modena, Italy. So it's basically an Italian supercar heavily influenced by Lamborghini. The EB110 wasn't really a successful car. It was once the fastest production car in the world, although the McLaren F1 took away that title quickly. It was a heavy car weighing around 1,600 kilos, and it was also comfortable and easy to drive, which meant it lacked the thrill that many supercar drivers wanted. To make matters worse, after the bubble burst in Japan and the economic recession in Europe, plus some bad business decisions, Bugatti went bankrupt in 1996, and the remaining EB110s went on to be sold by the Dower Group under its name, and the brand Bugatti was sold to Volkswagen, who created the legendary Veyron. The EB110 may have been too Italian to be considered a real Bugatti at that time, but there is no doubt that this was an important car in Bugatti history, as the testbed vehicle for the Veyron was the EB110. So it's a funny car, really. So looking at the models, you can see that the cars significantly look different. The Maisto version is overall larger, but I'm not really sure which one is a more accurate presentation of the real car. I think they both have some faults here and there. So let's take a look at the headlamps. You can definitely see that the Maisto's headlamp is larger, but the build quality isn't very good. Especially over here, you can see that the bulbs aren't properly attached to the body. And you can see that that isn't a problem with the Bburago EB110. But they simplified the bulbs, the design of the bulbs here, more than the Maisto version. kind of hard to get viewing the Maisto version since it's and also the area below the bulbs is chrome in the Bburago EB110, while on the Maisto it's the body color, which is what the real car is like. Also, Maisto painted the side indicators in orange, but Bburago put a sticker for it, which is one of the problems I have with older Bburago cars. These stickers look really flashy and makes it look toyish. For the Bugatti logo, both of these cars use stickers, and the Maisto sticker is really horrible. It's smaller than it's supposed to be, and it's a little bit more duller looking. As you can see, it's more red on the Bburago car. As for the casting quality, you can see that it's not perfect, probably because they weren't so good with die-cast metal back in the 90s. You can see that there are lines on the bumper where the bumper curves. It's not perfectly smooth. In both cars, actually. The air intake is not bad on both cars, well, at least on the center. The ones on the side both have rough lines. That's another problem with budget models. The casting quality is not really good. It always has some leftover paint and uneven lines on the holes and stuff like that. And opening the trunk, they both have their strengths and weaknesses. For the Bburago, they didn't paint the area below the windshield, which is just horrible. However, they used chrome parts for these things over here, while Maisto just a single piece. On the other hand, Maisto used an extra part for this thing in the center, while it's just flat on the Bburago. The hinges also look different. I guess the Bburago version is better, since it has 2 hinges instead of just 1. And moving on to the side, you can also see that the rims look different. Overall, the rims seem to be a bit more shinier on the Bburago, and the spokes are larger too. Let me put them together. The spokes are larger on the Bburago. They both have tire lettering and the BBS logo on the rims, but Maisto expressed the Bugatti logo in the center, while the Bburago didn't. Like I said earlier, the casting quality isn't good for both of these models, but that seems to be especially the case with the Maisto EB110. The overall body line isn't really smooth as the Bburago, like the lines over here. It's kind of rough. And parts like here are just poor. And overall, just like the front air intakes, the vents seem to be larger on the Bburago. And the Maisto EB110 has matching black lines, matching the engine compartment window, like the real car, while the Bburago EB110 doesn't have any of that. And moving on to the interior, both of these cars have Bugatti door plates down there. Same for the Bburago. And as for the door trim, the amount of detail seems to be similar, but Bburago has carved out this area for the cargo space, while there is no such thing on the Maisto's door trim. And as for the seats, Maisto has seat belts. while the Bugatti doesn't. And both of these plastic seats are very awkwardly connected. But I think Maisto did a better job on the seats. It really looks like someone sat on it, you know. They did their best to express the leather texture with plastic. However, as for the little remote thingy in the bottom, Maisto just painted it simply in brown, while Bburago is more detailed with a sticker. And both of these cars used sticker for the dashboard and the center console. The dashboard seems to be better detailed on the Bburago, but on the other hand, the center console seems to be better detailed on the Maisto version, and you can see that Bburago used a lot of chrome in the interior, while Maisto just kept it in a simple shade of gray. As for the steering wheel, I think it's better looking on the Maisto. It seems to be of the right size. It seems to just a little bit small on the Bburago. Let's move on to the rear. Like I said earlier, the Bburago has the rear spoiler fixed up. While on the Maisto version, the spoiler can be both opened and closed. Although the angle is really small. And Bburago has some vents beneath the spoiler, as you can see here. Although, to be honest, I'm not really sure where that came from. From what I could look up on the internet, the EB110s have retractable spoilers, so they should look like the Maisto EB110. And even the EB110 SS with its fixed spoiler doesn't seem to have these, so I'm not really sure what Bburago is thinking of this one. The spoiler doesn't really open all that much on the Maisto, so I guess if you want to have a sportier look, the Bburago might be a better choice. If you like the retractable spoiler feature itself, I guess Maisto would be better. Of course, like I said, the earlier Bburago EP110s don't have fixed spoilers, so keep that in mind. As for the rear lamps, I think Bburago put a sticker beneath the plastic rear lamp cover, so it kind of stands out, and the sticker isn't attached properly. I think Maisto painted the base of the lamp, so that's better, but that also means that the black pegs are more visible than the Bburago. And the it's a little bit dark here, but there's this black part beneath the bumper, and it's just painted on the Maisto version, but it's a separate plastic piece on the Bburago. However, Maisto used a separate plastic piece for the lamp down here, while the Bburago just skipped it. I think the exhausts are better on the Bburago EB110, as the quality on the Maisto version isn't all that good. There you go. And in the engine room, Bburago has divided the rear window into 3 parts for the hinges, but Maisto just made it in a single piece, so Maisto looks a lot better there. And I'm thinking probably just about everything is better on the Bburago. I mean, in terms of proportions, Maisto EB110 may be better. It seems to be a little bit more exaggerated on the Bburago, but But really, Bburago just put a lot more effort into detail. They have some additional parts here, the Bugatti logo on the covers here, and the Bugatti lettering here is just more visible and clearer. I mean, just the Bburago engine definitely has more parts in it. However, the Bburago engine seems to be a bit shiny, like its rims, while Maisto version is a little bit more dull. I guess some people prefer Maisto's version better. And both of these cars have supporting beams. There's the Bburago's supporting beam. There's nothing much underneath the cars on both of the models. Both of them are pretty simple. So to conclude the video, it's really hard to say which one is better. I mean, in some areas Maisto is better, but in others Bburago is better. I can't really say which one is better in terms of detail, but what I can say is that these cars give very different images when they are displayed. It feels like Bburago has kind of modified the car a little bit to make it stand out more as a model, while Maisto has tried to stick to the realistic proportions. You know, like the chrome parts in the interior, larger rim spokes, and shinier plastic parts. It kind of feels like the Maisto version is duller when put together. So I guess it's more about what kind of image you prefer. I mean, if you want better detail, you always have the outdoor version, right? I've put the link in the description below for a video where I compare the Maisto Jaguar Mark II and the Bburago Mark II. That is a different scenario from this one. In this video, I've compared the cars that were made when Bburago and Maisto were different companies. And of course, the cars were significantly different. In that Jaguar video, the Bburago Mark II was actually the same casting from the older Maisto, so it was more like, is there any quality difference between older Thailand products and the newer China products? So I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to click like and subscribe to the channel, and I'll see all of you later. Thanks for watching.